I like horses when they're not trying to kick me. I think they're okay at that point.
Why are you trying to fuck horses, bro?
That's not what I said.
But it is what you meant.
It is what you meant.
That's what you
Don't
meant.
lie. I don't mean anything but what I say.
Well, you're just very mean, so I would disagree with that.
Oh. Woo.
I'm not mean. You just fuck horses, you meanie.
That's not true. I mean, that's not true either. There's no horses in Florida. There's only alligators, so it's slim pickings for someone like me.
Oh, I see what you mean. Let me summarize this. I can't fuck horses, so I'm just gonna have to fuck some alligators.
Exactly. I mean, I was never a horse fucker in the first place. It's all about, it's all about coffee
availability.
Beans, I really like taking coffee beans and shoving them down my urethra.
Please include this. Please start the pod with, I really love taking coffee beans. And that'd be such a great start.
You're sleek as a thoroughbred. Your seats are a featherbed. You'll turn everybody's head today. You know what that's
I
love Elton John.
No,
I don't know. What is that?
That's a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I've never seen it.
Soy's next pick.
I want to see it.
Not really. Unless y'all like Dick Van Dyke or like Disney live action films from like the 50s.
I really don't.
So I'll tell you what I do like. I like this movie called Thoroughbreds from 2017 that Dunk recommended for the Celluloid Goblin podcast.
Because I have such a basic taste.
That's a really specific thing to say. Why would you say that?
Yeah,
we're not recording anything right now. I don't think.
But we are.
Did you guys ever date a horse girl in high school?
Dude, this whole movie, I'm like, okay, so one of them's a horse girl, right? And if you don't know what we're talking about, a horse girl is that
girl who's half horse.
You win. No, that's arguably better suited and more attractive compared to what an actual horse girl is, which is in like high school, middle school, whatever. When you're in school, there's that one girl who's really passionate about horses, who has those really gaudy looking notebooks with the sparkles and the bright pinks and blues. That notebook by that one artist, and there's always horses, or maybe they're like My Little Pony. Either way, horse girls.
That's the next evolution is My Little Pony.
That's true. They're not
I was
the same.
wondering.
Not the same.
There were some shots of one of the main characters of the horse girl's room, and I was trying to look to see if I could find some My Little Pony stuff. Just be like, is she a brony? Is she, or no? What's
she's an uninvolved horse girl.
Oh, that's a shame.
Even Mr. Corey Finley, the director of this movie, knows that they're separate and distinct. Maybe
that's
Corey
good.
Finley's a horse guy, the more rarer breed.
Yeah. Like that guy who got killed by getting fucked by a horse.
Oh my god, Mr. Hands.
Mr. Hands.
That video's called Mr. Hands. I had to use it for a video that I edited for I think it was for Gentleman.
I had to include some footage of a guy getting killed by a horse cock in this video that I got contracted to do.
Yes, and I put a big heavy censor bar over it, like really pixely.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
It says, and there's big red text that goes, "This is Mr. Hands footage."
What the fuck?
Thoroughbreds. What is a thoroughbred? I thought this was going to be one of those movies where it starts in black and it fades.
That shows the definition.
The definition of a thoroughbred, and I was going to be like, yo, that's a sign of a bad movie. That's student film bullshit. Yeah, what's a thoroughbred? I think
it's like, I forget the actual definition, but I think it has to do with like a very particular breed of horse. Like it's like dogs have purebred and horses have thoroughbred.
Yeah.
Okay, the thoroughbred is a horse breed best known for its use in horse racing, although the word thoroughbred is sometimes used to refer to any breed of purebred horse. Okay. So I was close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
I don't know why they can't just say pure breed across all animals. You have to make up new terms.
Because horse people are fucking hoity-toity fancy.
I mean,
that's
actually,
true.
Probably, yeah.
That is one of the main characters, is very hoity-toity and fancy.
But that's not the horse girl.
Nope.
That's the other.
Well, she was a horse girl, you see.
Yeah.
They were both horse girls, and then they did not become horse girls. And then they were horse girls. No, they never did become horse girls again, did they? I'm trying to explain. Horse girl, the horses were their past, and I have a thing about that where Dunk's like, yo, that's good notes. So I feel good about how much I examined this movie today. Which actually, I'm going to admit, I watched it like Friday when I got home from work, and then I was up to like 4 watching and then writing notes about it because I was going to do Saturday. But then we had to delay the episode to the next day, so I was like, oh well, This is half sleepy Mari over here trying to come up with notes with his. What is it called when you're half asleep? The Salvador Dali type of bullshit, where like he's in the middle of
big sleep.
And then no, that's that movie and book that I had to read.
Also a painting.
Also the painting.
Yes, which is just a big face with the nose draped up by sticks. I don't think that's what you're referencing, but
I don't think that's what. No, I'm referencing the Salvador Dali state of mind where he's half awake and half dreaming, and that's how he paints all his bullshit. Doug, this is your movie. Talk about the synopsis, please. No, he was never on drugs. Oh my god. Okay, here's a Salvador Dali shtick. He would like.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm just saying, if I'm thinking of a state in which I'm half asleep in quotes and half awake, I would define that as being intoxicated on some sort of illicit substance.
Okay.
I'm not saying Salvador Dali hit that dank kush. I'm sure he was a perfectly fine fellow who painted melting clocks all day.
Melting clocks?
How long are we gonna? Because we can go on this non sequitur. There's an album by Robert Rich called Somnium that you're supposed to listen to when you're half awake, half asleep. It's 7 hours long.
But we have to talk about a girl stabbing a horse.
Yeah.
We don't know she stabs a horse until like later, so
it's pretty fucking clear.
Yeah, no, you're right.
She pulls out a knife.
You're right. Well, I thought maybe she was gonna cut its hair, like
in the middle of the night.
Yes,
it's a necessary thing I have to do right now.
Dunk, since this is your pickary-do, can you please give us a little synopsis as to the movie?
Yeah, so this is Corey Finley's directorial debut and only film to this date. That was originally written for the stage. I guess it was probably kind of hard to arrange all the different things that have to happen for the story to make sense on the stage, or something.
It was really hard to kill a horse live on stage.
Yeah, that does violate a few laws.
They were gonna what was it, Daniel Radcliffe play where he was naked?
Oh god, I remember that.
They're gonna do that, except they're all naked.
Yeah.
And then the horse is a wooden horse.
Harry Potter and the Elder's Wand.
They got the horse from War Horse, and they're repurposing it for what was gonna be the stage play for this.
Yeah.
That's
anyway,
it sounds plausible.
True facts. No, it's true.
It's true now. Everything on the internet's true.
Mm-hmm.
What's the story about?
Well, I mean, it's like two dry, witty teenagers who used to be friends, and now are awkwardly rekindling their relationship for reasons that are revealed over the course of the story. And you mostly just spend the time questioning the morality and the actions and the motivations of rich people, which you should always do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's usually a good habit. And some people die, because that's how life goes sometimes. Sometimes people get killed.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always... You don't always have to understand why,
Sometimes they've fallen and they can't get up.
I looked this up, and I got Heathers meets American Psycho.
Yeah, God.
Thoroughbreds follows high school student Lily and her emotionless friend Amanda as they scheme to kill Lily's stepfather, Mark, via contract with a drug dealer named Tim.
See, I can't do that because that's like such a reductive, a missing the point summary. But that's what you want. I know. Yeah. That's why I suck at that, because I'm
like I said, it sounds almost like Horrible Bosses.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely, you just see it. You just see the text, and you think about it, and you're like, yeah, it's like a comedy, right? It's like a Napoleon Dynamite or something.
I mean, it is goddamn hilarious. This movie.
I think it's more of a what you call a dark comedy, because it's not like comedy. It's not like whoops, Lily fell down the stairs. Oh, someone farted. It's more like do you want to kill yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes me laugh. I love that kind of humor. Some people might not want to call it humor, but
the film grossed $3 million against a $5.1 million budget and received positive reviews from critics who praised the ambitious direction, screenplay, and performances. And I think we can all agree that those shined brightly in this, which we will discuss. As Dunk said, it was going to be a stage play, but instead was turned into a film. And I think you can really see as we go through it that like there are some movies where you can tell that the writer and director of it was like he knows his shit. Because if you could do stage play, if you can do a stage play, then translating that into becoming a movie is just finding a cinematographer and like having a storyboard person. And they're really snappy. Those movies are some of my favorite. I think just on a side note, I think Hateful Eight should have just probably been a stage play, or can still be considered.
Yeah.
This is one of the last films of Anton Yelchin. Yes. It was kind of a rising star.
Legendary.
We saw him J.J. Abrams' Star Trek stuff and The Green Room, and he died in a freak accident when his Jeep Grand Cherokee pinned him against a pillar outside of his home. What a fucking way!
And his family tried to sue, and it didn't work.
Lily wanted revenge.
Yeah.
Well, this is way after that, I think.
Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah, this film was released posthumously, I believe.
Posthumously. Out of like 4 or 5 films that he had?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Posthumously? It's posthumously, guys.
Posthumously? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean,
Mr. Wordman over here.
Well, posthumously sounds like you're too cool for jokes. Like,
well, exactly, yeah. I mean, he can't tell any jokes anymore. He's fucking dead.
No, that's true. I guess you're right about that.
Just like Robin Williams.
No, but he's a great fucking actor, and he had a lot of potential. And it's sad, even though, because like I don't care. I'm a heartless nihilist and whatnot. But it's like when someone with potential dies, I get sad thinking about the movies they could have done in the future.
He was Charlie Bartlett. Remember that movie? Have you guys seen that?
Shut up. He was not.
He was Charlie Bartlett.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's like one of his famous roles.
No way. You're fucking with me right now.
And he was in From Up on Poppy Hill and Pirates. He was in a lot of stuff. I remember him being a kid in a movie. I forgot which one that was. It wasn't Charlie
Cheaper
Bartlett.
by the dozen.
Way kidder. Cheaper by... What? No. It was not. I haven't seen that.
It's good.
Well, that's a great movie. We should do that one next.
Star Trek.
Man, your editing job is going to be rough for the beginning of this.
That's why I'm working it. All right.
We went on this fucking tangent about Anton Yelchin. His first role in the film was Stalker.
What? Not that Stalker. Okay. Do any of us have any things we want to say before we start into the plateau? The plateau? Plateau.
Never do Japonified English ever again. There you go.
Since I guess none of us have more to say, let's get into
I'm just saving it, because I'm going to talk your ear off once we actually get started.
Yeah.
So am I actually running this plot? Because it is your movie, Dunk.
Oh, no, I mean, I can do it. It's up to you. What do you
You have my notes, so...
Yeah, I mean...
certainly better than me, at least.
So we kicked the thing off. We got a horse girl.
Amanda.
Facing horse.
In my notes, I didn't really remember their names until like more than halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
So in this, we'll introduce them when they come in. But for now, we see what I dubbed as Cool Girl.
Yeah, she is very cool. Cool girl staring at horse. Pulls out blade. Cut to title. Opening credits. Ominous music. Ominous reductionist. Avant-garde jazz soundtrack throughout this entire thing. It's awesome. It fucking slaps.
Like, the credits music makes no sense. Like,
the soundtrack is so good, dude. I listened to the soundtrack in full like 3 times this week.
It reminds me.
Stuff.
I don't know why, but it reminds me of like a combination between like maybe like an Earthbound and Rule of Rose for that reference.
What? I don't know. I don't know the music for either of those, to be honest.
Well, there you go.
I kind of see it in an abstract sense. Yeah,
it's just very like it takes like the Rule of Rose is very orchestral, heavy use of violins and like plinking sounds, and then Earthbound's just overall weird musical tones. Minus the Johnny B. Good. Minus the Johnny B. Good.
Right.
I would kind of compare it to Under the Skin because that's the only soundtrack that's similar that I can really lock in that like I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds similar. Under the Skin's just like a bunch of weird noises and tones, so it's kind of the same, I think.
Hey, that's my jam, you know. So anyway, we got a car pulling up to just a fuck you house. Rich, like fuck you money mansion.
What a mansion!
Hell yeah, this is straight up like Spencer Estate, but for, you know, suburban white people material.
At this point, I really like
somewhere in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I like how quick the pacing is and the speed. It's really snappy.
And then there's really a long tracking shot where she just walks through the house and looks at stuff, and then you immediately changed your mind about that.
And then
we see the same girl explore the house a little bit. Yeah. And then we see that there's a lot of people working in the house, so it's like a very active house.
And then she picks up the star's crest.
Yeah.
Girl walks in. She exploring the house. We're exploring with her. We're seeing a bunch of stuff that we're gonna get context to. I forgot what order it is, but she sees a little girl on a horse. She looks to the right. She sees a mirror far away. She smiles and then puts the smile away. Walks to the stairs, and at the base of the stairs there's like an envelope with a bunch of money in it.
Fuck you, money in the envelope.
Yeah, that's a lot.
With the name Lily written on it. Yeah.
What were the bills? Were they like 20 or they were?
They were 20s. They were 20s, and it had to have been like. I mean, I think
a thick envelope that probably wasn't even closed. I think it was like too thick to be open.
No, yeah, it was definitely open.
The girl we're following is the same from the opening. I don't know if we said that. Her name's Amanda, and she's played by Olivia Cook, who was the birthmark girl from Ready Player One.
Yeah. Which I didn't see, so I don't...
Yeah.
The girl who was horribly ugly, apparently.
She was so ugly.
Oh,
her
man.
Was like 20% of her face, whatever. At this point, I looked up, because obviously, Thoroughbreds, the movie's called Thoroughbreds. We see a horse at the start. We see a girl on a horse. So I'm like, okay, horse is going to mean stuff. What does horses mean? I looked up what horses mean in fiction. And the horse is a universal symbol of freedom without restraint, because riding a horse made people feel they could free themselves from their own bindings. Also linked with riding horses, they are symbols of travel, movement, and desire. The horse also represents power in Native American tribes. So
that last one is the most relevant.
Yep. Most relevant. I thought about cutting it out, but I left it in.
So, like, I never thought about that for a second, but then when you wrote that, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it works. I don't know if that's actually intended or not. It could just be the fact that
intended.
Bitches like horses. That could be the entire
100% intended. I can't be more confident in that. Yeah.
I think it's just more maybe not necessarily in reference to the whole freedom aspect, but it's the horses that connect our two main characters together.
It's more of an in-universe importance of the creature than like the standard fictional symbolism or anything.
I don't think so.
All right, bitch, let's duke it out. Let's go.
We'll duke it out when we get to the more horses stuff. We got the envelope with the money, and then we see she's in like a desk room. What is it?
She's in an office. It's called an office.
Yeah.
Thank you, office. And then she sees that there's a guy who's a hunter, and
he's got a fucking katana over the fireplace.
I wrote no, but there's also the picture of him with like martial arts gear and like the katana, and I wrote, so he's a weeb.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then the maid who got the girl into the house calls for Lily, who at first I thought was calling Billy, but Lily, calling for Lily, and then Lily yelling. Amanda grabs a sword.
I'm gonna steal his sword real quick. I'm gonna grab it.
Check out this ultimate blade that captures. What is it? It captures the souls of victims.
It captures the souls of its victims.
What? No, that's not for Hank Hill.
Anytime there's a miss, just do it in the Hank Hill voice, and it's immediately a hit.
Miss? I missed.
It's immediately a hit again.
Lily comes in, and what is it? I wrote Lily looks good. Oh, because Amanda says you look good, and Lily is played by Anya Taylor-Joy.
Miranda Cosgrove.
The hot girl from Split.
Wait, did you actually think she looked like Miranda Cosgrove? Because my dad said the same fucking shit.
A little bit. Like, I knew it wasn't Miranda Cosgrove, but I could see a slight bit of resemblance. A little bit.
I super don't see it.
Yeah, me neither. I thought it was weird.
I think Soy's your dad, Dunk.
Shit.
Well, now you've revealed it. I was going to wait until, later in my son's life, but now you've ruined it. So, I don't know why you had to spill the beans.
That reveals that these characters used to know each other.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell that cool girl is a cool girl, and rich girl is also cool. They're both cool, whatever. They're both cool just by on appearance-wise, fashion-wise, design-wise, makeup-wise, whatever. We cut to chapter 1, text chapter 1, and then, it's one of
another remnant of the
stage play aspect.
Stage play, exactly. And then I think they're like studying or something.
They're studying for the SAT, I believe. Because Amanda makes reference to the SAT later on in the movie, and they're doing like SAT type stuff where they're like analyzing paragraphs. How does this paragraph make you feel? It's like reading comprehension, vocabulary, that kind of crap. So that's what I assumed, because they also mentioned that they're like later in high school, I believe. Like they're seniors or juniors or something. So that makes sense that they're preparing for that. So
So in this sequence, I don't fully remember what they're talking about except like the studying, but I remember the talking being snappy and the writing being tight. Again from the stage play. Then I think we see like the book that's open, and we see like we're like focused on the word horse. I think it was.
Yes,
am I right?
And it's from Amanda's perspective, so it's like she's looking at the word horse obsessively, and almost
and
like I almost think that upon a rewatch that she's waiting to see how Lily's going to treat the word when she gets to it as she's reading the paragraph.
That would make sense, because like almost immediately as soon as Lily reads the word horse, she's like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do this,
we don't need this one.
Rich girl gets weirded out about a passage. That's what I got.
Yeah.
And then I think and then Amanda is like, I don't feel anything. And then, like more specifically, she talks about how she's basically a sociopath. Or she just doesn't. She said
she even says borderline personality disorder is what she's what one of the psychologists identify her with. But
it's a great line, because she's like talking about her psychiatrist. She's like, she's just flipping to random pages of the DSM-5 and throwing medications at me. Which is awesome. It's a great line. Anyway, the thing is she claims she's a sociopath, and Lily is very, at first, unwilling, but not entirely conceptually opposed to the idea. It's something that isn't really called into question at any point explicitly, and you kind of just have to wonder it to yourself if you're going to wonder it to yourself if she actually is or not. It's like it's a foundation of the plot that isn't confirmed with any sort of authority.
But definitely, if you go with it, definitely. But I think if you go with it, then like the story still kind of moves forward.
Well, I think it makes sense even if she isn't, which I guess we'll explain later.
Yeah.
But
you know what? Yeah, that opens up me a little bit too now. So she says, I think she specifically says like, I don't feel any emotions, but I have a healthy mind, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, sociopathy is gonna be cool, and I'm like, it's gonna be one of those movies where if you're a middle schooler, you're gonna misinterpret the movie and assume that having no emotions is a good thing, or something to that.
I guess it's possible, but in the same way that like half of Kubrick's filmography could be interpreted as like murder and rape is cool.
But I'm talking explicitly like the movies where these people are like the cool guys, specifically just American Psycho, where it's like,
but Patrick Bateman isn't cool. He's a fucking loser.
Want to be that cool. Yeah.
He spends 8 hours a day doing his facial mask and buying fucking business cards.
But I'm saying that an uncool person would think it's cool and just be wrong, which I think that's what I did. Basically.
I think the 4chan Nazis unironically idolized Patrick Bateman a little bit, so I guess you might know something.
So that's
it just depends from person to person and your brain chemistry and blah blah blah. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we skimmed it. We skimmed it, but when Amanda meets Lily, Amanda goes, "You're really good at this. How much do you charge?" And then Lily brushes it off. Right?
We're just hanging out.
Yeah, no, I'm not charging. No.
Yeah. And then after Amanda tells us about sociopathy, then Amanda just reveals that she saw her mom's email and that her mom paid Lily to hang out with her. Is there anything there that I'm missing? Because I'm about to jump to like when it's night.
Well, the important bit of character building is that she says that, and then before you get to think that she may be upset about it, she's then like, my mom was really desperate. You could have gotten 500 out of her if you'd stood. And it's like that's the duality of the character. I mean, that's probably the only reason Lily invited her back at all. Is that last line as she left. So
we're doing not a really good justice of like going through this movie, because a lot of it is just how snappy and how
it's just the pacing is perfect. So it's hard to
for sure. This is the type of thing where you guys should have seen it already before you're listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
So then, cool girl is good at poker, and then I wrote. This is me just assuming what the future's gonna be, and I go foreshadowing, horse betting.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's a great prediction. I'm interested to see how that would have turned out if that was
I was going through this
because
I was going through this not knowing anything about it other than why Mess It was a good movie, and I think it was on like some lists of stuff to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, oh, it's gonna be like a betting movie. Two cool girls hire Anton Yelchin to be the guy who bets for them because he's legal age, and then it's some sort of a thing. And I'm like, oh, that could have worked. That's basically like
at that point, it's like all dogs go to heaven, except
it's all horses go to heaven.
Yes, and it's
all
not
right.
animated.
So here's the pinnacle of my analysis on this podcast: is I paused and very carefully wrote down the usernames that she was playing poker with, and also the cards in the flop and in her hand, just to fully analyze this scene. Anyway, she's playing poker with Bubba Da Nuts, the Dude 98, the Tormentor, and a few other ones.
Dude, you can't leak our poker usernames like that. Come on.
Dude, what the fuck?
You can't dox me like that.
Interestingly, there is an error in that poker program where there's like a card that has like the ace of spades or clubs or something at design, but then there's the letter J written on the card like it's supposed to be a jack or something, and it's just not. They didn't explain what kind of weird bizarro card game they're playing where that happens. So I hate this movie now. I've decided that I don't like it anymore because
it's failure to accurately portrayal poker. Really, just I mean, it brings it down at least 5 points at the very least.
Jeez.
But also, she's raking it in. She's got like over $1,000, like more than twice as much as anyone else. Yeah, so
she'd be killer in real life at poker. I'd imagine she'd have the best poker face. That character.
After the pokering, she comes back in again. They hang out, and Lily's got a very nice wardrobe, very cool. And then we see Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
They're watching a movie or something. Stepdaddy Mark comes in, and I wrote, "Oh, hi, Mark." Oh no, she actually says, "Oh, hi, Mark." Right? Am I imagining that?
I don't think she says "oh," but she says "hi."
She says like, yeah.
She says "hi, Mark," yeah, and I'm like,
"Ha ha." And she doesn't say it quite the same way.
That's how Lily talks the entire movie.
What's a story, Amanda?
Oh my gosh. Amanda then realizes why she's probably there, and it's that Lily hates her dad.
Stepdad.
And hates her stepdad.
Yes.
And then only has her there so that she can spite him because Mark probably doesn't like Amanda because she's weird.
She's fucking creepy. Yeah.
Because she's creepy.
Yeah.
And I wrote, sociopath is so intuitive. # speak the truth. Because that's still me. That's me when you hate the gay undertones in the movie. This is me hating the edgy undertones in this movie.
I don't. I like
Iron.
the edgy undertones.
Yeah.
I'm an edgy boy.
Anyway, that's his whole character.
Yeah.
Edgy boy.
That's what I do on the podcast. That's how I interact with the paradigm of you two.
Exactly.
Just be the edgy one.
And then Amanda figures out that Lily hates her stepdad because actually I don't really remember why, but I know some of the reasons why she's
he's a prick.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
And,
well, we don't see that how much of a prick he is right now, at least.
Right,
but she detects that she doesn't like him. I mean,
he's such a walking cliche. Like, just, oh, my dad would have beat my ass when I was your age. I worked hard for what I have. Just this really just cliche stereotype, rich doofus.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And then the money was there because Amanda surmises that he's just giving her money every week or something like that. And then Lily's like, oh, it's for my computer or whatever.
My broken Facebook machine.
Broken Facebook machine. Rich girl snaps back for some and then Lily just straight up is like I don't like you, you're creepy, blah blah blah, but you're creepy in a cool way.
She lets it all out. She finally is honest.
Yeah. And I wrote now the friendship begins, even though they were already I don't think we know it yet, but they were friends way back already.
It's pretty heavily implied.
They kind of split off at some point.
I think we all do sometimes.
Yeah.
At this point, I wonder where they're taking this, and I can already feel why it's compared to Heathers, because this was compared to American Psycho meets Heathers way in the movie poster and shit.
So we don't have to go through every line of genius dialogue because most of them are genius, but I do want to mention the shower line, which is like a.
Repeat it. Say
you
it.
actually smell kind of weird. When's the last? I don't even remember the specifics of it, but it's like when's the last time you showered? Only every couple of days or so. I thought I was getting away with it.
Yeah,
which is important.
You're not getting away with it,
right? It's awesome. Because the next scene is literally her after taking a shower, and then she's looking in the mirror.
She's like trying to do up her hair, like how Lily had her hair.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's such a good impression, like the way she does, like the wide-eyed, like pure princess.
Like she said, she got good at imitating other people's emotions.
Yep. She
pretty good at imitating faces.
Which is then followed by now they're Amanda's back in Lily's house. Now they're watching a movie, and there's they're watching a movie, black and white movie, and the lady's crying really badly. She can't fake cry, and then Amanda's like, "That's terrible crying. I can do better." And then she just like fake cries on the spot.
I know my secret technique. She throws up some hand symbols, and then she starts, just letting it all
crying,
out.
saying level 4. She cries on cue. Lily wants to learn how to do it. I thought it was going to come into play, but it doesn't. And then Mark comes in. Stepdad comes in, lightly interrogating, and now both the girls, it's 2 girls against the 1 guy. Passive aggressive talking.
And they fucking get his ass.
They get his ass. Talking about fuck. I really can't remember all the dialogue. I just remember.
I should have taken more notes about the dialogue.
Well, no, because it's like where's your mom? Some work party thing. What work party thing? I don't know. Some work party thing. I didn't know your mom worked.
It's like, I'll call Amanda. I'll call your mom to pick you up. And Amanda's like, she can't. She's busy.
Oh yeah, she
doing what?
Chemotherapy. Straight face. Yeah, and it's so good.
And he just looks down and then looks away.
And he's like, good night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which actually we find out later. I'm pretty sure Amanda was just lying there because we see her
mom.
Yeah,
we see her mom.
Of course. Hair. No, that's just her being good at
But it happens.
It
happens. We see her mom like way later. You just forget it, kind of. I think.
I just assumed she was lying because it was such a convenient story to tell.
Or maybe she was stretching the truth, and her mom's like, an oncologist.
Yeah,
there you go.
Maybe her mom just has really bad taste in memes, and she's cancerous.
Oh god, she was too busy posting on 4chan.
Once he walks away, and I wrote, "I bet they'll kill him or something."
Yeah,
I'll bet.
Good intuition.
In these film descriptions that mention a murder, and there's a character that these guys hate, I wonder who'll die.
Well, he might not have read the synopsis.
And the girl, I did not read the synopsis. The girls were talking.
It was the bird that dies.
Bantering straight up about Mark. And then Mark comes out in the kitchen. He's like, I'm just grabbing my juice. And then they go, I hope one day he juices himself to death. And they go, oh, that's how they're going to do it, right? They're going to poison him.
They're going to give him steroids.
Yeah. And then Mark goes upstairs. What is it? The rowing machine starts.
Yeah.
Which you don't actually see because I feel like getting one was probably too expensive to show because they never actually show it.
It's a really big auto blow.
Again, it's sort of very stage play that they don't show it.
Yes, it is. That's right.
I feel like most of the money for this went to the house to rent the house.
Maybe.
Loud rowing machine upstairs that would also come into play. I wrote, and then now I think Lily just goes like, "You want to go get a drink from Mark's wine thing?" So they're grabbing wine. And then the conversation happens of, you ever think about just killing him? Amanda says, and then in the frame in the back and like a dark door where all the wine is, Lily comes in, and then I forgot what she says, but she's like, nice one, or like just plays it off.
A good joke.
But I love I love this sequence because it's like, if she actually didn't want to kill the dude, then she would have been like, no, I'm not going to solve my problems that way. Or no, it doesn't work like that. But the fact that she's so offended by it and it's like, oh my god, what are you talking about? Is because that's like a really good idea, actually. Don't tell me that because then I'll do it.
Yeah.
Don't hold on to your Puritan views of the human spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
By the way, Mari, the word you were searching for is cellar.
Cellar. Celery.
The worst vegetable.
Yeah, because it's just edible water.
I've never had celery. Is this just Book of Henry but good? Is that why you want us to watch it?
I haven't seen it yet because every time I bring up that I want to watch Book of Henry, you abuse me for talking about it.
I've watched many reviews about it, and I know that it's not a good movie, and it's about kids who want to kill a guy, and then the kid is really, 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 really smart. He's edgy.
Isn't that a book in the Bible? Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't know. It's probably trying to play it off like that because it's just an edgelord movie written by a guy who was it was like a high schooler.
Oh hell yeah!
Shows Lily wants Cool Girl to leave because she's so offended by her idea.
Because she just loves her stepdad so much. It's horrifying.
Amanda goes and leaves. We follow her as she leaves a ginormous house. She passes the stairs, and we hear the robot machine upstairs, and it gets loud and ominous. And then it's almost like Mark is going like, "I'm winning, and now you even hate me." And it's just sort
of fucking your mom upstairs, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. And it's sort of just like a reminder of the robot being like, "I'm here. I'm Mark. I'm here." And now, I guess I thought maybe Cool Girl was maybe developing a crush on Lily. And that's why she's pondering it.
I think whenever I watch a movie where there's two female leads, I always kind of want there to be a lesbian thing, but that doesn't mean there always is one. Well, I'm trying to relate to you. I'm trying to connect to you.
As some sort of like offshoot of the Bechdel test, we just want like we want the Maury test where it's like if there are two women in the movie, you know, if they have a good lesbian sex scene, then it passes the Maury test.
Jeez.
Yeah, actually, no. In your notes, you wrote "blue is the warmest color" somewhere, which is funny that
I did.
Like
when they were hugging,
that movie is just synonymous with lesbians to you.
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
Neither have I.
It's pretty overrated, to be honest. But, yeah.
Blue's an overrated color.
Amanda wakes up, checks her phone, like she was expecting Lily to call. She instead calls about like an internship.
But this is where we confirm that she's a horse girl because she's got fucking horse shit.
This is what I was talking about earlier because I was pausing a little bit during this scene to see if I could spot anything, and I didn't see anything. But she's got like horse pictures and posters. She's got little figurines. She's got a whole shit, a lot of ribbons.
We don't see that until we don't see that until later. But she's calling about internship, and then and then we get a side view of her. She's calling, thinking about Lily, talking about Lily, and in the back foreground we see a little horse out of focus, but you can very see the distinct shape. And I was like, oh, the horses. She's thinking about Lily, and she's thinking about their earlier times because we don't find out yet. But Amanda and Lily were like best friends riding horses together when they were kids. Mm-hmm. So I put that in the thing, thinking about her. And then I think she turns and the camera goes to where the window is, looking back at her bed, and we see that she has all these awards and all these pictures of horses, and then we can surmise that she was a really good award-winning equestrian person doing whatever.
Yeah,
a really good Equestria girl.
Girl.
Yep.
And then now we cut to the person on the phone is like that person's not with us or whatever, and then before she gives her more information, she's like, who is this? And then Amanda hangs up. We cut to Lily putting on makeup. Cut to chapter 2.
Boom, 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 boom. This is when the soundtrack picks up, gets
it was good here.
Less silent, more
putting
present.
On some lipstick, rubbing it off their finger. We're getting real intense.
I think this is when the like Inuit throat singing starts happening as well, which is awesome. Which is all over the soundtrack. Super good. And we're following her walking through the house, which is interesting because it's almost like the inverse of the scene at the beginning, where Amanda was walking through the house slowly as a tracking shot, looking at everything, and she's quickly,
like just critical path. I need to go here.
Mm-hmm. And then Mark is like making some like nerd shit, like he's doing like a miniature or something.
Mm-hmm. And Lily was walking around yelling for mom. She's yelling for her mom.
I thought it was like a ship in a bottle or something akin to that.
And it's like, why does this guy decide that he needs to just have every lame hobby all at the same time? Like, what?
Because he's the villain.
I know.
That's his job, is to be a villain.
Anyway, her mom's in the tanning booth. And then she's like...
As she would be.
I'm in the tanning booth so that your stepdad can get his dick hard because...
So that way the horrible man that I married will actually pay attention to me and love me.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lily finds her mom in the booth. And then she's only there just to say that I'm going out. Like, she could have told Mark, but she doesn't like him that much that she's willing to...
she needed her mom's car keys.
That's true.
I think you're reading into that a bit too much.
No, shut up! You don't know me.
Anyway,
shut up.
we go to Teen House Party.
Teen House Party number 75.
Which I was kind of surprised that Alex Wolff, the Hereditary guy, is also at the teen party. But but the thing is that he's at a teen party in Hereditary. So I guess if you really want to, you could argue that it's like an alternate universe where shit didn't go down that bad.
This plays into your grand unified theory of films.
That's right, yeah. Where everything's in the same shared universe. That's right.
Exactly.
That's a terrible...
We found one more connection.
I was also thinking that if the guy has a rowing machine, he might have been one of those douchey Harvard guys from The Social Network grown up. Because he probably has money. He was went to Harvard or something.
I think you're looking
drawing the lines
too much.
I think you're right.
Commotion in the backyard. Who there, guys? Who's there?
Pedophilic Anton Yelchin.
Pedophilic pro Yelchin? Pro Anton.
Yeah. Anyway, he's like trying to, I guess, sell drugs or hit on 15-year-olds. Probably both. Probably both at the same time. Say.
Hey, he wasn't 25. He was 23. You gorilla-faced dumbass.
And that's legal. You crossed the line back into legal.
So dude bros are yelling at Anton Yelchin. And he's like, I just want to sell drugs. Dude bro yells back, he did statutory rape when he was 25. And he's like, I was 23. You gorilla-faced dumbass. Such a good line, you guys. Oh my gosh, that was such a good line delivery.
Because that dude did, in fact, have a gorilla face.
A gorilla face, you're right.
It was crazy.
And then he goes and smokes a joint by the cars. I guess he's trying to get some 15-year-old puss as they're on their way out or something.
Just as Lily's walking out.
He likes it when it's fresh.
Gross.
God damn it.
Anton's rolling in a fatty. Is it just me, or does Anton like his voice, his regular voice, which is pretty much what he's using here? Does it just sound like he's doing an accent?
Like what kind of accent? Weird.
Like I don't know, but he sounds like an English guy trying to do an American accent.
No, I don't hear it.
I feel it.
I didn't quite get that feeling.
Yeah. People are watching. Write in the comments. Am I right? Or am I not right?
Well, we already know the answer to that, so.
Oh,
right, obviously.
Woo!
I was gonna say Kata or Anna, so.
Anton's character Tim detects that something is weighing on Lily as she's getting in the car. He tries to wax poetic about being in a hamster cage and how there's too many rich people.
You like the smell of the mulch?
Stuff like that.
But out there, it's all the real shit, man.
Yeah.
And this is where
driving a car in 10 years.
This is where the previous lines about Amanda wanting to go the Steve Jobs route and not actually go to school and just drop out and get rich start to sort of contextualize into the, I guess, traditional Marxist analysis of this story, which I think you could totally do, like a straight, class struggle reading of everything that happens. I'm not really going to do that, but it is definitely present. It definitely has
especially at the end. I wrote a note about that right at the end.
So, just the idea that the constant exposure to the internet and internet billionaires and entrepreneurs and guys who don't, speaking of Social Network, guys who don't really, deserve to get rich, kind of just getting lucky or figuring something out and getting rich anyway.
Basically.
It's your information. It's your information. What would you say?
Yeah.
That was terrible, Mark Zuckerberg.
No, it was really good.
Was it? I've never actually heard him talk more than 5 words.
We
cut to daytime.
He
doesn't speak. It's all deep fake.
It's the tiny lizard man inside of his mouth that speaks for him.
Facebook has had deep fake tech since 2003.
Jeez. Cut to daytime. 2 mowing guys mowing in the morning. Then we cut to a giant dining room with no sunlight. It looked like it was a nighttime shot.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda's texting. Amanda's texting Lily like a desperate guy on Tinder.
Yes,
and it was like one text a day because I actually checked the dates, and it was just like, "Hey, hi," and then the most recent one was like, "What's happening?" or like, "What's going on?" or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess, arguments against her being a sociopath.
Mm-hmm. She would not react.
Why? I mean, I don't know any sociopaths. I don't think, unless I am one. But I don't know why you would.
If she doesn't care, she shouldn't care, right?
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's that plus things that happen later that make me question that dynamic.
Lily visits Amanda to hang out. Amanda's mom greets her enthusiastically. She doesn't look like she was on the cancer. But she greets her enthusiastically. Then, like, her face, like, contorts into, like, huh? Wait, why are you here? What did she do? Did she do something? Like, it goes to, like, that.
Oh, no.
Did she do a mass shooting or something? Yeah.
Did she stab another horse?
Amanda is out back. And then we go to the back.
And she's just standing there.
Amanda's mom and Lily are in the sliding glass door. They're looking out to the backyard. They're like, "What is she doing there?" And he goes, "I don't know." We cut to what Amanda's doing, and she's just standing in the backyard out there looking into the forest,
just like Blair Witching it in the backyard. Yeah.
Then they're watching TV, relaxing, whatever. Doggy comes in, yay!
Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool.
And I remember this line of dialogue where like the dog was coming in. Amanda's like eating something, and Lily's sitting there, and then the dog is the one across from her, and then Amanda's like, "Just hit it." And
yeah, just hit it. Push it away.
And then I'm like, "What?" And then Amanda just like pushes it away and not actually hits it.
She doesn't actually hit it, which I think is an important detail.
Of like, wait, she wants me to hit the dog? Like I think that's what I got out of it. I don't know
because she said that, but it almost like. That's not what she did. It almost makes you think that's not actually how she would handle the situation, or how she does handle the situation normally. Which is, I guess, if the argument that she would just hit the dog supports that she's a sociopath, then that argument would fall apart at the realization that she doesn't actually do that.
Yeah, but I think it was more so you're questioning, like, wait, does she mean hit it, or like, what does she want me to do?
But it makes her sound like the emotionless person that she claims to be, even if that's not what it actually. Substantiate.
It could just be, she's either emotionless or she's just, using a different vernacular, an interpretation of the word hit. So it's sowing the seeds of indecision.
Yeah. Then they're swimming in the pool at night. The camera is the shots, the cinematography here is like really weird because it's really close, almost like I don't know. They're trying to do something, but I don't know why it works here.
I think they're trying to show us the characters.
No, but it was really tight. It was like tight, and everything's bokeh, so it was weird. They're swimming, breathing contest. Lily submerges herself, almost drowns, but then Amanda saves her. So that happens.
Yeah, she was like, I think Amanda stayed under for like 25 seconds, and Lily's like, I can beat that, and then just stays underwater and just doesn't move.
Yeah,
like forgets
Lily
to
was
swim
with her
up
for like a whole day. After this, she asks like if she actually meant like killing her dad and stuff. But then I was like, you spent almost a whole day just to ask that when you could ask it at the start. It was kind of weird.
She was probably just thinking like, oh, I'll ask it later. Like you don't want to start the hangout session with, so do you want to murder my dad?
Yeah. And concerning the
especially not this relationship.
Yeah, and concerning the cinematography, I thought that they were trying to do a thing where it was like. Lily's there, and we're shot in this really close thing where we can't see the surroundings because she only has one thing in mind. She's not absorbing anything. She's just there to talk about Amanda, but they only kind of do that in like the pool, which doesn't make sense. So I thought if they did the whole thing like that, it would have made kind of more sense. Where she's like single-minded and focused to only be there to talk to Amanda, whatever. But they didn't do that. Amanda doesn't seem up to the daddy killing. And then I wrote here, it seems like Lily has the violent tendencies and wants to use Amanda's emotionless ideas to kill him. Rich using the poor, if you want to look at it deeper, maybe even we're all bad. Combined, they are a killer.
And something that I wrote at the very beginning of my notes and I still didn't mention, something that's important, is that Amanda's, like, has money. Like, she's not poor or even like lower middle class or anything, but she's not fuck you rich like Lily. She's just
upper middle class, I'd probably say.
Right.
Like we get a shot of her house as Lily like walks in like right before she speaks with Amanda's mom, and she lives in a pretty big house like as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not mansion big, but it's like 2 stories, and there's like just a fuck ton of windows and a pretty big garage and driveway.
And she was like a horse rider, so like you can't ride horses if you're poor. And
so
it's true. Rewards. You have to swipe your credit card along the horse's neck before you climb up.
Neck. Yeah,
it's enough
when
that
you want to buy a baby.
That it's believable that they went to the same like public school or something, or even the same private school when they were kids. So like but there is a substantial difference because it's like, you know, when you get to that fuck you money stage, it's like there's no houses for way too much space out in each direction.
And then we cut to Lily's mom reading something that Lily wrote, and then we discover that Lily plagiarized something, and that's why she's kicked out or something.
I actually screen capped that, and I like looked over it, and I think there was one particular line. Let me pull it up again. It was like
one-upping me.
It was like although I don't remember the line exactly because I don't want to like parse through the whole thing, but basically it said like, you know, even though this is like a grievous error on my part, like I'm thankful for this experience and the fact that I was able to fail and learn from this. And it's like, yeah, you're not really going to be able to do damage control like that on like but the worst plagiarism.
The worst line that I like, I think the worst line that you could possibly say is the one that is stated in the dialogue. Where
yes,
it's like the thin line between research, the thin line between research and plagiarism. Like it's so close. It's so hard to not just accidentally copy and paste the Wikipedia article.
I had a bit of a bit. I had a bit of a bit about writing essays. In if I told myself if I ever do like stand up, I'd have a bit where writing a research paper in college is just like you write some little dumb bullshit until you're halfway through the word count. Then you throw in the citations and in the quotes, and it becomes like your hype man. Then you get a whole little bit there.
Damn, it's a good strat.
I mean, that's how I did, and I passed everything.
That strat never even worked for me in high school, so...
Re-enroll and then try it out. Let me know how it goes, bud.
No. I'd rather not do that. I'm happy with me going through college and being done.
Mr. Mark comes in, and he goes, yo, Lily, we're going to send you to this other school that has, like, troubled girls or something.
Well, because the mom actually says that. She's like, oh, we're thinking about sending you to this other school. And then Mark comes in and says, it's not a question. We've already put the down payment in.
Yeah.
Just dropping the truth bomb like that.
And, like, it's something that I think is actually a strength of the film, that we're so stuck in the perspective of Lily for this entire film, and it's like there's a decent chance that there's a really good argument to be sending her to a school for kids with behavioral issues. She did plagiarize a paper, and she's so egomaniacal and unable to understand that that's bad or that it was far away from what she should have done when writing the paper, that she thinks that the thin line is going to work. Like,
no, but she's not a troubled girl. Cut to her going to the garage and loosening a wheel on Mark's
car. I mean, to be fair, Mark kind of earned that one, but I mean, just in general, I don't know what you do with kids that are so like spoiled and privileged that they suck at everything and like.
What I'm wondering, like when she did that, I'm wondering if she was thinking like, oh yeah, this will kill him or this will break his nose.
I think it's just a really good prank, and it is a good prank. He got his ass.
Good prank. Because then
sexual though.
Yeah. I wrote a thing here. Lily messages someone about pictures of a horse. Do you guys remember this?
It was the guy. It was like a stable hand or something of like where that horse that she stabbed was.
It was an Amanda thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, it was her research.
It was like making sure that she can really walk the talk and kill a motherfucker. If that's what's going to come to. Like, see how cold-blooded that bitch really is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Then
scope it out.
The next day, Mark has visible injuries, like bandages and stuff. Lily's mom tries to help, but Mark snaps at her. And I wrote, well, now we just got to kill him. I guess they just made the reasons for killing him more valid.
We've got the concrete evidence.
because he's an asshole.
Well, I think it's a really good...
Even though it was Lily that gave him the injuries in the first
place. Right,
but
I think it's a really well-developed character because he barely has to spend any time on screen for us to just immediately realize that he's like the incarnation cliche of the rich like stepdad who talks about, well, but when I was your age, but as actually like just fragile masculinity and constant insecurity all the time anyway, despite having fuck you money. It doesn't like actually matter.
But I wouldn't say that that's enough reasons to kill him. Amanda is playing with giant chess pieces while Lily says she saw the photos, the horse-related stuff. She had to kill a horse because her black market drugs didn't work.
Okay, so
horse injured herself.
Good old black market drugs.
I love this sequence a lot because the camera is over on the bench with Lily, and we're far away from Amanda as she's talking about the details of the thing. But it like, if you really pay attention, you can tell that she's like getting emotional about it. Like
Lily is?
No, Amanda when she's telling the story. But you're so far away that it's like not obvious, and it's like
you can also see it in the way that she moves the chess pieces too, like the way she very gingerly picks up like the knight piece, which is just a horse head. Wow, symbolism. And just places it in comparison to the other pawns and such.
It's really like subtle, and it's like, and from Lily's perspective, that's the thing, is what Lily wants is a true sociopath who is going to heartlessly state the incident, and that's what she sees, even though it's not what's happening. That's what we see because it's from her perspective.
Through this lens, Amanda's playing her like a chess game. She's moving. Moving the pieces. And so she's playing chess.
Not really.
Strategy.
She gets played pretty hard in the end.
No, but I'm saying she's moving the chess pieces, but strategy and all that, and she's trying to manipulate Lily. If she's
I don't really think she's trying to manipulate Lily. I think it's the other way around. I think honestly, if we're going to get into character motivations this early, which we can do and we will do because I already said it, I think Amanda just wants to be friends with her. And doesn't care about Mark, is okay with Mark dying, because I'd be okay with Mark dying. He's a piece of shit.
It's a bonding experience.
What I'm saying is that Amanda, in this lens, Amanda wants to get closer to Lily, and it seems like the only way Lily wants to get close to Amanda is if Amanda was a killer and sociopath.
But that's not really getting closer to her, though. That's the...
it is. It's more than not getting closer to her.
I mean, it's like when you have friends that you're only friends with them because they get weed all the time. And it's like you actually don't care.
That's the only reason Lily wants to be friends with Amanda, because she needs a killer.
Well, right.
And Amanda's playing her.
That's the key.
That's what Dunk was saying.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. The chess, there's like symbolism there, not just of the horse, but she's like playing chess.
All right, I guess.
A giant thing of chess.
I don't know, man.
Okay, whatever. I like what Lily's wearing. She dripping.
Yeah, she's
zoom into Lily.
Style.
You've been saying that like almost every scene. Like, I really like Lily's outfit.
But in this scene, it was most prevalent. We zoom into Lily and her sick glasses. As Amanda's talking about what's happening, then we cut to the opening. We're reminded that so that's what Amanda was doing. She was killing a horse, and then she's describing what's happening. We see the horse thing as we zoom into Lily's glasses, and Lily just goes, "I want to do it." And because Amanda has the killing experience.
Mm-hmm.
I used whatever Amanda that Spanish word was for a killing knife. What was that term that she used for the knife?
It was a knife, like some name for a knife, but like some sort of Spanish knife.
I was trying to use
the gut and kill a horse, but she didn't.
All right, I'm gonna guess, and we'll see if I get it right. You ready? Puntilla.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, because I remember thinking, does that just mean point or pointy?
Hell yeah, dude! I'm so badass. My memory is
pointy.
I'll use the pointy.
That's how they remember it. Pointy, yeah. Amanda says they're only gonna do it if they're far away and a
no. This is important. This is important character building that you skipped. Hold on.
Go.
No, because the part where Lily's like, after hearing the gruesome story of the horse getting killed, she's like, I think we should do it. And then it's like Amanda's like, and then the important line is, it's about how Amanda has an increased capacity to pull off the murder. like essentially acknowledging what the film has been pushing us towards, the idea that she's a sociopath and is really good at murder because she killed her horse. But anyway, she's totally visibly offended by this because she just recounted the emotional story of having to kill her own horse, and she walks away and then projects onto Lily like, I don't know if you are just doing this because you're emotional or what, and it's clear that that's not like,
it's not a good mindset to have going into this.
Right, but it's Amanda's the one who's emotional. I mean, they both are, but Amanda's the one who's emotional, and she's good at not showing it because that's how she keeps.
I think that brings up that sort of interesting development. Brings up something interesting that I'll probably talk more about at the end of the film, which is where I think it all sort of culminates in terms of the way that these two characters develop in parallel to one another.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We can get to that at the end.
So then now the girls say. So now Amanda says that we can do it if they're far away and have airtight alibis. Chapter 3. The girls go visit Anton Yelchin to buy drugs off of him.
Whose character's name is Tim, by the way. I don't think we've ever said that in this entire podcast.
I did earlier.
Oh, you said it once, yeah.
I said it once. But I mean, it only took me up till here to know what his name's Tim.
And Tim is a very ambitious, like, GTA character, essentially, because he's like, I'm gonna be running this, the whole, and not a protagonist, like one of the people you work for, and then you end up killing before they get any success.
No, not even work for. He sits next to you in the drive-by missions,
and then gets killed. Yeah,
he gets killed. He says he's gonna run everything in 10 years,
and it's clear that that's not true.
No.
So he's clearly a Roman Bellic type character.
I mean, he's
not as
in terms of like the class struggle analysis, he's very much like the
lowest
the modern incarnation of the American dream, where it's like because the entire country's morality has been corrupted, crime is the only way you can even subsist, which means crime is also the way that you dream of, being successful.
It is the only way in proletariat.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know I went like this.
So he's saying all this to Amanda, and then Amanda like just doesn't care, and then Tim's like, "Your friend's weird." She's like, "I know."
Yes,
you've got a friend repellent.
And then I think Amanda asks him like, "Do you have a gun?" And then he's like, "Yeah, I have a gun."
And they get him to admit it essentially by insulting his masculinity, which is hilarious that works.
It's just like, oh, come on, you're like trying to be a drug dealer and you don't have a piece? Like, come on.
Yeah. You can't run this in 10 years if you don't have a gun now.
He's lying. I bet he's packing a spork. You packing a spork? Yeah, and it's just really basic, like, just, come on. I bet your dick is really small, dude. Come on. Show me your gun.
So then they just go like, how do they get him to... So they wanted to get him to kill Mark, but I think they mention it there, but it only gets serious when Tim visits the house. And then I like this part because when he's arriving at the house, he sees it like this big old, it's shot like this big old, Ave Maria starts playing, and he's like, wow.
Yeah, literally.
Ave Maria in German, I believe.
And now I would like to note that this is the third time we've had a sequence of a character walking through the house slowly.
But this is the
only time. And they've all three been radically different.
Yeah. Well, so the first one, Amanda's was she doesn't care.
It was curious but apathetic. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the second one?
Well,
the second one was Lily
at the beginning of chapter 2, and she's just like
when she's just going along the critical path, just going to Mark and then going to Mom, and the music is like sort of ramping up.
But when we get to Tim's is how we should have seen it to begin with. That's how you would see it normally when you're introduced to this house. Well,
which is a cool dynamic.
We only get one introduction. It would be this one. Yeah, you're right. And then we see it like that. And they go to the place where they're planning the murder. And then Tim pulls out the gun that he said he had. Amanda freezes, sort of. And
because he's like, like this. Yeah, he's he's and he gives the gun half threatening them, half acting it out.
Yeah, and I have no idea if this is intentional or not. This may just be me looking way too into it, but something I really like about this scene is that when he pulls the gun on Amanda and she's totally still, and frozen, like she's has no fear of it or anything. But if you listen to her line of dialogue, you can hear like just a very subtle like choking back of nervousness. That you have to really listen for it. I have no idea if it's intentional or not, but it's like, I don't know. I think it's good character building. Because obviously, if you can't tell, I'm in the camp of she's not actually a sociopath.
Yeah, out of all the moments of questioning if she's actually a sociopath, this is the only one where I really picked up like, oh, she's probably not a sociopath because she still freezes. Like, I don't know. I feel like a sociopath.
Well, no, like the freezing
would still choke, but not that much, I guess.
In my opinion, and from what I've read about sociopathy and things of that nature, like, it's not necessarily not possessing emotion, but more sort of not being remorseful of your actions. In that sense. So, I mean, it can manifest itself as, you know, social and like just social aloofness. But it's not as necessarily as, you know, I guess as a identifying factor as, you know, remorseless actions, basically.
No, that's a good point, because like really when I say sociopathy in the context of this movie, I don't mean the actual definition. I mean like the movie cliche sociopathy. Because that's what like the movie plays with and expects your understanding of and toys with that understanding like throughout with the so it's like the stereotype of like the malicious, emotionless, you know, murderous sociopath is the thing that's subverted in the character dynamic.
Right.
So that's really what I'm talking about.
This is when Amanda and Lily reveal that they recorded him buying the drugs off of him, and they're going to blackmail him. And then Tim starts waxing poetic again about how he's going to run everything, just like he did in the car. But Amanda shoots him down by recalling the fact that he is a sex offender.
Just owning his ass. It's just so like, hard.
I think the line is like, well, because he mentions like, yeah, I'm going to have like one of these big mansions. And then Amanda, after a little spiel, and a sick ass car. And like after a little spiel by Amanda at the end of it, she's like, imagine taking your really nice car and having to drive up to every single one of your neighbors and saying that you're a sex offender. And then the attack.
Well, yeah, it's not even just that though. It's then she's like, the only reason you had sex with a child is because you're too scared to talk to anyone your own age, which is such an own, dude.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I thought she said that before. Yeah,
just fucking getting his ass. Anyway, he freaks out and starts. I don't know what he plans to do. I guess he's gonna kick the shit out of her.
He attacks Amanda. Lily comes up with the gun behind his head. Amanda can get up. And then Tim slowly turns around as he talks.
You're not going to pull the trigger.
You're not going to pull.
And he gets so invested in being dramatic tough guy that he doesn't realize that Amanda's sneaking up on him with a lamp.
Just brains
him in the head.
And then there's the great.
I think the gun isn't real at this point.
Really?
I don't think it's real because he's so confident turning around. We know he's a dipshit. We know he's got a fragile masculinity.
I don't know.
We never see the gun get fired.
I think he can be pretty confident that like a little spoiled rich girl won't shoot the dude in her own house in the neck. Like that.
True, he does underestimate them still.
Yeah.
But in terms of the gun's not real.
That's part of his character though, is that the thing that he understands is like the raw, immediate violence, like the crime, low level crime, and blue collar violence. He doesn't understand like the complex, nuanced, privileged sociopathy of the teenagers. Like that's not his wheelhouse.
After smashing Tim on the head, Amanda tells Lily that like you can be this, you can be that, you can blah 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 blah, but the worst thing you can be is indecisive.
Yeah, no, I love that line.
That's a good line. If I could remember the other parts.
So that means if you're ever in between choosing between where you want to eat, that means you're worse than Hitler.
That's right.
And old Timmy wakes up in a bathtub. Very nice looking bathroom.
And he looks like shit, dude.
They put a thing over his head. They put some weird lampshade on his head or some shit.
It's almost like they put a tourniquet on his skull, which it's probably not what that is, but it's just very tightly wound with bandages and crap because they hit him over the head with the fucking lamp, which was probably
Tim's
ceramic.
Probably got a major head injury, bleeding a lot. And then he reveals that he's like, what am I going to tell him? He's like, what are you going to tell who? He's like, what am I going to tell my dad? Why would your dad have to know? He's like,
I live with my dad.
And Amanda just goes, wear a hat.
Yeah.
What am I going to do about this? Wear a hat. Tim has to do the deed in 3 days. He has 3 days to kill Mark. And they already went through the plan. He's going to come in through the glass door or whatever. She's going to put the gun over in the second grill that Mark never uses.
Because they have more than one.
Yes. That's how privileged they are.
Then all that's settled. Mark has to be there. Lily puts some elbow grease in cleaning up the blood from the rug.
Yeah, this is a really good thing that you noted that I've never thought about in my life. And I saw this in your notes. I was like, oh my god, you're totally right. The only time she ever is like willing to do actual work is when it feeds into her plan of killing the guy she doesn't like, which is a really, nice bit of character development. That sounds like something I would do. Is I don't really want to do chores unless it involves killing someone I don't like.
Unless my life is on the line. Or something.
That's my only goal at this point. First, I tried to, I broke his nose with the whole loosening the wheel thing on his fucking exercise bike or whatever that is. And now I just got to scrub out this blood to make sure that no one suspects me.
Yeah. And then as Tim left, they said that you're going to do the thing in 3 days, and then Lily's going to be in Lily's going to be in a spa thing with her mom, and Amanda's going to be, I don't know, we don't actually see what she does.
Just disgustingly bougie, sterile spa vacation.
And then we see what Lily's doing, and it's
filthy.
Like this bougie spa. It's so hot. It's weird how high class it was, but also how cheap it looked at the same time.
As someone who has never been
cheap to me.
Yeah, as someone who has also never been to a spa, I can't say whether it's cheap or not because you're still going to a spa.
Yeah,
they were doing the more new age. Everything has to be white and not the really cool natural.
Because we're really terrified of anything black.
Because I've been in a lot of spas in the Philippines, and they look much nicer than this one where everything's white and bullshit.
But we should note that Amanda asks, "Do you want like a hug or something?" And then Lily's like, "What? No." And it's like, cleaning. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hug would have been nice, I'm sure.
So then everyone's out relaxing. Well, we cut back to Mark in bed with his eyes open. This is the night that he's gonna get murdered.
He's awake thinking about his ship in a bottle.
He's thinking about how much he hates his stepdaughter.
I know. He's just always thinking about it.
point,
Ordering custom porn videos to meet that fantasy.
We cut to the backyard, and then the motion sensor light turns on. We assume it's Tim. Tim goes to the second girl, grabs the gun. A light alerts Mark, and he investigates. He goes downstairs, and then we cut back to Lily, who looks down at the manicurist and sees Mark's face doing her nails. And then
it was a really bad nightmare.
It was like the actor, I believe, because I don't think the little Asian woman had quite as hairy arms.
It's very tense. We're assuming that Tim's gonna come out through the black in the window door.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna come in and shoot him any minute now. But then we cut away before any of that. Mark even arms himself. We cut to Lily going to the front desk with her mom, and who's there? We see Mark. I thought it was another vision or something where she's seeing things, but Mark's like, shush, I'm gonna spook your mom.
I'm gonna spook her.
Spooks the mom.
I love the detail that when she finally decides to step up and do something and kill her stepdad, it still involves telling other people what to do while she goes and chills out at an expensive spa and does nothing.
Oh, exactly. I don't want to touch this with my perfect hands.
I mean, even though the specifics of that are ultimately kind of coincidental, the fact that it ends up playing out that way is humorous and meaningful.
Throughout this whole thing, I thought it was interesting how we never actually see Amanda, because the whole thing is really Lily's plan, so we only really follow her, which I thought was
Amanda barely has anything to do with it, which is important later, I'm sure.
She just offers the killer's insight.
Good thing she didn't hug. If she hugged, that would have been evidence of some kind.
Oh yeah, she would DNA evidence, some skin cells.
We have the hug fibers. Analyze, enhance.
Mm-hmm.
Hire me. CSI,
I found semen in the fibers.
Oh my!
And then Amanda analyzes Lily. I don't know where this scene is. I think it's in the kitchen, right? Yeah, it's in the kitchen. Amanda analyzes Lily. Lily's like, she starts smoking and all this bullshit.
This is the scene I was thinking of earlier.
Yeah.
Yes. She tells her that killing Mark needs to be the right thing and not a stupid retaliation just because she doesn't like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But then Mark comes home. Amanda checks in the window, whatever. Lily grabs the knife because she's like, I'm going to stab when she comes in. But then Amanda convinces her to something. Mark catches Lily smoking, but he doesn't know that. He just passed by Amanda, who has a knife. And we are assuming that Lily might distract her and Amanda's going to stab her, but that doesn't happen. Lily confronts Mark, and it's like the final chance. I thought Amanda would just come out and stab him after this.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I thought it was Mark's final chance. Mark tells her that she doesn't understand other people's point of view, and I thought he was right.
Yes. No, absolutely. No, and it's like the thing where he's like, we're all just offshoots of your consciousness. We're all your maids, aren't we? Right. Flashback to the shop.
Yeah, that definitely ties into the whole,
it's not the most subtle filmmaking ever, but it works.
Into the whole bougie versus proletariat aspect of the film.
Yeah, right. But also, like, old money versus new money. Like, the guy who, got hit with the belt as a kid and believes that he worked hard for it, whether he actually did or not is uncovered, but she absolutely didn't. So, she's visibly offended when he says that line about, like, more so than she already was, about everyone being her maids, because she fucking knows that. She literally had the nightmare about it, like, yesterday or whatever. Yeah. She's fully aware that that's a problem with her psyche, but that would require a lot of desire to change.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's going to happen to this character.
Mark leaves. He goes, see you later, princess, or he calls her princess as he leaves. Amanda puts the knife away, and then she says that she only had it to protect Lily if things got dangerous, which, I mean, they probably never were going to be, because I don't think Mark would ever hit someone.
And then there's the great line from Amanda where it's like, honestly, he's not even that far off base. Empathy isn't your strong suit, which is, an extension of many things I've already said throughout this podcast.
Who's the real sociopath here?
Who's the real, emotionless killer who's willing to step on people to get their way? Yeah. So
Lily cries, and then Amanda assumes it was the technique.
Oh, hey, you've been practicing. It was not the technique.
Which I also like that, because I wouldn't think that Amanda would, like, at the beginning of this movie or at the beginning of their interactions, like, make that assumption.
I know,
if she saw Lily crying. I think it's the events that have occurred over the course of the film has made Amanda see Lily as more emotionless and closer to herself than she saw her as at the beginning of the film.
Well,
because they're starting to have more in
slow
common.
Decline.
I see it right now as more so Amanda, if she's pretending to be sociopathic, I see it more as her going like, oh, I should say something that's sociopathic right now.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a conscious, like, effort to pretend. Like, I don't think it's that literal.
I see it as. That's what I see it as.
Shit, okay. Well, I just mean, like, as
I should say something that's sociopathic, because I know she's really crying right now. Because she's not stupid. If she sees it your way, then of her seeing Lily becoming more like Amanda, then yeah. But I also see it as just being like, she knows she's actually crying. That's a legit cry.
I think she could fully well believe herself to be a sociopath. In fact, I think that's likely. What I mean is that it's like a psychological defense to deal with the trauma of losing her horse, which was clearly like the most important thing to her in all the world.
If she wasn't an actual
thoroughbred
sociopathic.
Yeah. And maybe Lily would have also been one of those things if they were still talking before the events of the film started, but they weren't. So
they were not. No. Lily recalls a time where the two of them were crying during Lily's real dad's funeral, and she asks if she was using the technique, and Amanda goes, "Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?" Chapter 4.
Boom. Yeah.
Boom.
Right there.
Anything about that, or is it just more of that? Is she sociopathic or not?
I mean,
conversation.
I don't know if I'd cry at my best friend's dad's funeral, to be honest. I mean, he's cool, but like I don't really know him like that.
I mean, as they established, as they will establish at the end of the film, like they were horse girls when they were like real little kids, and she said that the funeral for her real dad happened in like 9th grade. So
important detail. They could not have been in the timeline of this film as close as they were in that photo at the time that funeral happened. And if that makes sense when you think about it, because the kind of thing that would get old friends together who don't really hang out anymore would have to be something big, like a funeral where you feel morally obligated to show up, regardless of the situation, or morally obligated to invite someone. Either way. Yeah.
At this point, we're pretty certain that they were really close friends when they were much younger.
Because it's been explicitly said to us in the film.
Yes. Mark hits tennis balls and angrily looks at Lily. Amanda contemplates how everyone in the black and white movie is probably old or dead, and then Lily goes, "That's bumming me out." It doesn't.
That's bumming me out. I hate Shirley Temple.
Was that a Shirley Temple movie?
I saw Shirley Temple in there, so I'm assuming as much.
It doesn't seem like she wants to do the plan. Then Lily asks if she thinks Amanda's life has any meaning.
It's a really nice question to ask someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did Amanda say here?
Well, first off, she looks offended, like she's trying to not look offended, which I would be offended if someone asked me that fucking question. But then she goes, I don't know, I guess I never really thought about it.
She's too busy thinking about her dead horse.
Lily apologizes, and then she says that she roofied Amanda's drink because she's drinking like OJ or something.
Important series of events here is that it's also mentioned that there was like radio silence for 3 days between, I guess, Act 3 and Act 4. So it's like, it doesn't take much to conclude, either consciously or unconsciously, that the reason you are now back here with your friend is because she needs you to frame this murder on. And it's very clear that Amanda doesn't care about many things, but the things she does care about are her dead horse and her ex-friend of childhood horse party fame.
Throughout all this, Mark's upstairs rolling, the signifier of "I am Mark, I am here in this house upstairs."
Auto blow.
Rowing! Auto blowing. Lily apologizes, but then she says, "You're gonna drink it, you're gonna pass out, I'm gonna stab Mark, and then I'm gonna give you the knife and all the blood, and then you're gonna get the blame for
just it. Just rub it all over you."
Lily apologizes, but Amanda just like gulps all of it.
And she admits it, which is cute. Which is cute for anyone who like values their own life to be like, okay, well, you're crazy. I'm not going to hang out with you anymore. Thanks for telling me. I'll see you later, I guess. But instead she goes, this is, I don't know what she actually thought, but my interpretation of it is something like, well, here's my chance to truly be of value to this person who I've decided to.
And that's if the route is she's an authentic sociopath, correct?
Well,
because
whatever
honestly,
the line
every
is,
choice,
I mean.
Oh yeah. But like every choice here, like just the whole movie changes when you look at it through whichever way. If you look at it the way that the movie wants you to tell it, or you look at it the way where she's not actually sociopathic. Lily apologizes, drinks it all, and now she wants some meaning. She has a meaning in her life, and now
taking drugs.
And it's important to note that once she drinks the whole thing of roofie juice and then passes out. Yeah. Lily doesn't have to kill the guy.
She doesn't? Nope.
She does not. She's not forced into the route in the visual novel of killing the guy. She can still just sit there and watch Mary Poppins or whatever the fuck. But, it's whatever she tries to trick herself into thinking.
Amanda's choice is like done now. Like she'll accept whatever happens to her. And it's literally all in Lily's.
I leave your fate in my hands as I pass out.
And it's because that's what Lily's wanted from the very beginning, is just people to serve her in a way that gives her free reign to do whatever.
Oh my gosh,
murderous,
you're right.
Like
Amanda's just an enabler. And Mark's right. And we're gonna kill the right voice.
The rich are using the poor.
I don't know. I mean, it's
the rich are using the slightly less rich.
Yeah, I had rich versus the poor, but then now I realize that Amanda was not poor, but you can still.
But it's, look at it, I mean, if you really want to get into the class struggle analysis, then like Lily would be like the oligarchical, faceless, like 1% corporate overlords, and then Amanda would be like, the middle class, upper middle class people that essentially get scapegoated into, whatever the problem is.
And then her class gets used more than Tim's even lower class.
Well, yeah, because
there's a thing there.
As the middle class shrinks. As your middle class shrinks, the upper and lower classes grow further and further apart.
Right. Well, and also just because like Anton's Yelkin's class is totally fucking isolated for the most part from the like there's very little interaction between them. Like it's such its own universe, being like in poverty or something. You work shitty jobs and do shitty crimes and get arrested and then get out and do more shitty crimes and shitty jobs again. I mean, it's like, but I don't even know if that's
character.
Yeah, but that's not really the primary lens that I look. I mean, it's definitely an important part of it. But it's not really the main takeaway, I don't think, at least for me.
No one cares about the lower class.
Now it's the killing time, guys. We hear what's happening upstairs. We're slowly zooming into to Roofie and Amanda, who's just passed out. And then Lily takes her gingerly time. She walks to the kitchen. We hear knives getting grabbed. Walking. See a bit of her walking to the stairs going up. And we hear rowing.
Yeah.
And in rowing, there's like a commotion, like a very light commotion. Rowing stops suddenly. And there's lots of thumping.
Mm-hmm.
And Lily finally comes back down, and
Lily changes into her blood-soaked shirt, the exact same shirt that she had, but it was just soaked in blood, which is really weird.
Yeah, which I guess means that she was like really violent when she was doing the deed.
I like to imagine that she was trying to do the thing with the horse, where she tries to get at the spine from the back of his neck with the kitchen knife.
Right.
Yeah,
it'd probably be a lot easier to do with a person, I imagine, because we're not as
but it makes sense that you get some blood on you.
I would imagine you would get quite a bit of blood, because I would imagine she also tried to move the body at some point, and that'd get quite a bit of blood on you.
Because you can hear some thumping and loud noises before, like the death rattle, before Mark's death rattle cries out. So there's something happening. But I love that the sequence is like the fourth movement through the house, and to emphasize the disconnect between the person accused of the crime and the actual committing of the crime.
There is actual disconnect.
Right, and we spend the whole time focused on passed out Amanda on the couch, just listening to it happening somewhere else.
And again, another possible connection to the fact that this was a stage play at some point.
Right, yep. But it works.
Very economic.
Regardless.
Oh no, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's a very I think that's a good stylistic choice, is to have it be.
I agree.
Yeah.
Have it to presenting this scene from the perspective of a character who's basically out of it at this point, and we only just hear what's happening upstairs.
And to emphasize her innocence, and because she's not nearly as hostile and murderous about killing Mark as Lily is. Really, she's going along with it.
Not.
She's going along with it because he's clearly a dick, and who really cares about him? And also, she's my friend. That's the reasoning. Mm-hmm. So, really, sleeping peacefully on the couch as the murder happens. It's a good dynamic.
Lily comes back down, rubs blood on Amanda, and she pauses, hesitates, and then she comes back to the couch and lies on her lap.
No. This is important. She rubs the blood and she starts walking away, and then Amanda starts snoring really loudly on the couch, and then she stops and turns around, and then she moves back, and then moves her head so that she stops snoring, which is important because it's okay, she knocked herself out. I've forgotten that she's a human being. I'm going to go kill the guy and blame it on her. And then, rubs the blood, doing the task, whatnot. And then she snores, and it's fuck, that's a human being. I forgot. Holy shit. Oh, man, that's really fucked up what I just did, isn't it? Oh, man, I got to go stop that from happening.
She moves her head back, and there's blood on her face, and then she goes to lie down on her lap.
Yeah, and now she wants the comfort of the person. Now she,
I'm just going to lay and get blood across the couch in such a way that it wouldn't look like Amanda was lying there. But whatever.
Oh, it doesn't matter. My lawyer is fucking good.
Yeah.
And there's some ringing. Yeah, I wrote.
We've got some girls we can burn the clothes.
Yeah, if CSI looked at this, it's pretty obvious that she probably didn't do it. And examine her blood, you see there.
Because even on the face, you can because she had some rubber kitchen gloves on or something.
But
yeah,
you can tell that face pattern.
Yeah, there were it was pressed on, but we're gonna eschew that bit of reality for right now.
Yeah,
I think that in the American justice system, if you have that kind of fuck you money, and especially when the person who you're framing already is already awaiting trial for animal cruelty, right?
Amanda even says in the movie, if I'm anywhere near this, they're immediately going to go for me, and they're just going to throw me even harder into the slammer.
I think it's fully believable. I don't really find it
in that aspect. Yes, I'm just saying, to the casual observer, if they looked,
in a justice system that acts in good faith, it would be ludicrous. But so anyway, now we get the important bit where all the film
very
themes.
very important.
We get like a ringing whatever, and then cut to black. Mm-hmm. Cut back to Tim. Working
dapper. A slightly better shit job who looks nice. He doesn't look like shit
he's
anymore.
A valet.
He's a valet. That's better than a dishwasher.
Yes,
he was
absolutely.
we didn't set up, but he was a dishwasher at a retirement home.
Yes,
retirement home.
And then he clearly sees that it's Lily and tries to not engage and like walk away.
Yes,
and
because
he fails.
Obviously, the news of whatever happened.
Yeah, because that bitch is fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, but she engages him anyway, and they talk about how. I'm glad you didn't kill my stepdad because I didn't want him to die. It was truly just a weird tragedy that
he just fell onto that kitchen knife.
Well, no, but I mean, that Amanda she was just such a crazy sociopath, dude.
Right?
I couldn't stop her. And she had so many personal reasons to hate Mark because she had been wronged directly by Mark so many ways. But anyway, the important bit is we hear the letter that Amanda wrote to Lily while she was in,
mental thing.
The loony bin.
I assume
the
for
loony bin.
People with
cuckoo's
violent
nest.
tendencies. And it's
when Amanda starts, we cut to her point of view.
Yeah.
And then sort of just her epilogue. And then she's basically saying how she's also saying, but also we just see it explicitly. So then we discover that the plan, that the Lily's plan just went off without hitch.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda took all the blame. And Amanda is, of course, thriving there because she's not in jail. She's in like a mental institution. She's
I don't know if thriving is the word that I would use.
She's existing.
She's existing, but like she's not having. I think I just wrote she's not having a bad time.
Well, it's not prison. I guess
not, exactly.
But I don't know if I would say it's great.
Mm-hmm. But she's there. She's painting really well. She's
painting a horse.
You have a very optimistic view of being stuck in this mental institution for the rest of her life.
She's not doing anything else, dude. Like, let's be honest, she's not doing anything else. If this is her life now,
well, I feel like
much worse.
If this film cut to this character, like maybe a few years after this, she'd probably just be like, "Yeah, I kind of want out of here."
And then she could probably just be like, "Hey, I'm normal now. You can let me out, right?" And they'll be like, "Yeah."
And she rides away on a horse.
I don't know if that's how going to a mental institution after you murder someone works. There might be a few more hoops you got to jump through.
But yeah, she's there. She's doing fine, I guess. Plan was successful.
She details a very specific dream,
both of which are important, and in which she is the horse that she. Wait, no. Yeah, she has like a horse's mouth or something in the dream, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, so she was bred by Lily to be scapegoat.
That came straight from the horse's mouth.
Yep. Zinger. And then the other one being that she is her own horse that she killed, and is sort of transcending space-time and humanity.
Well, yeah,
being a more innocent creature than humans are. Which is true.
She watches herself like die and flutter up like above the world, and then she sees like the world advance towards like people paying more and more attention to their smartphones and eventually just dying because they forgot to eat. And then horses come back and they roam all over the place, and it's so beautiful. Tell me about the horses.
And then there's the important bit where she looks at the complete photo from the beginning of the film.
Yes,
unfolded.
It was just half at the beginning, but the complete photo has Amanda also sitting next to her. Important detail is that her smile is different. She's not showing teeth. When she imitates Lily's smile, she always does like a big shit-eating, like cheeky grin, because that's what Lily does. But her actual smile is just kind of a much more subdued, no teeth. And when she's looking,
are you talking about the smile in the photo?
Yeah, but then she looks at it, and then she smiles naturally at the photo, which is the first time that happened in the entire film. Which means that she is capable of genuinely smiling, which should, if you weren't thinking this already, recontextualize everything that happened in the entire film. Especially when it's paired with the realization that when Anton's like, "So what did it say? The letter that you got from Amanda?" And she's like, "I don't know. I just tossed that shit. I don't fucking care, dude."
I didn't read it.
And then Lily says that with a fully dead.
Fucking God, I know. And she's using her dead stepdad's connections to get into college while she's there.
Because yeah, we skimmed over it, but Mark was like, you're going to go to this place because I have contacts there. And I guess now Lily just wants to do it now after killing him. I guess it wasn't. I guess it wasn't the fact that it was. Yeah. I guess she hated Mark so much that she didn't take advantage of what was probably a really good opportunity for her.
She hated Mark Hamill so much.
Not Mark Hamill!
But yeah, I mean, it is, to go back, I guess, temporarily to the class structure thing, it's like a class struggle thing. It's like, she was born rich and privileged, which means she had the best opportunity to then take over, even though she's the one that needed it the least out of the 3 core characters to have her own, like, to own her future, like, in every sense of the word.
And definitely deserved it the least, too, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I know, I agree completely.
I don't think Lily threw it away. If I see it through the other lens of, I think it was just her alibi, trying to keep it up with Tim.
That is a valid interpretation. I choose not to believe it because my analysis of the character and the rest of the film makes more sense if she actually didn't read it. But it is totally possible that you're right about that. Yeah, that's a totally valid takeaway.
I got a note of a side of me thinks that the roles are now reversed and Lily really didn't read the letter and she's a sociopath. And this theory works if you take into account Amanda's smile or Amanda's fact that she was never a sociopath to begin with.
The roles have always been reversed.
That's kind of what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, so then by that point, the entire time Lily was faking all of it, and then she only got with Amanda and then she was tricking Amanda, who Amanda thought she was fooling Lily, but in fact Lily was playing the chess. She was playing chess, and Amanda's playing checkers.
The nuance of that theory is that for it to be possible, I'd argue that neither of them can be truly like sociopathic, at least in the movie sense. Like that. That's because there's a dynamic shift that happens. They both like. You learn that the characters were in the opposite places than you thought, but that you learn that through the growing dynamic and events that occur, and the forcing their hands, essentially, since you can't go back to the school you want to go to and you feel your future being taken away from you that you were entitled to because you're a special rich baby, and that brings out your willingness to step on everyone.
As for class struggle stuff, I mean, it's kind of obvious that the one to go to is that the rich people are using whoever else Amanda represents.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
There's always that other guy who thinks about it deeper and goes, "Oh, this is actually about Canada and America, or whatever the fuck."
Well,
that's actually what my teacher said about Enemy, the movie Enemy with.
I need to watch that one.
That's okay.
Yeah, this movie is just basically the same as Deus Ex. The rich are trying to use all of us poor people, except in Deus Ex it's more about sending out a plague of nanites to basically just kill everyone as a form of
but I don't play Deus Ex. That's for old people. I play cool games like Black Ops 5.
I'm gonna punch you in your face. I'm gonna go to California and just punch you in the face.
I will shove a lamb down your throat.
And then while I'm punching you, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna add you to the list of NSF casualties.
No.
You've got 5 seconds before I add you to the list of NSF casualties.
We actually haven't hit the end yet. She says, I threw it away, and then cut to title again with ill-fitting
the biggest
music.
Slapper on the soundtrack. It goes so fucking hard.
It's so bad. I don't like it.
What? I love that fucking track, dude. Whatever. The Inuit throat singing slaps. Listen to that shit in my free time.
It was like upbeat, like club music. I was like, this doesn't fit.
Yeah, but it's upbeat club music, but it's also violent and primal, and it's has to do with the status quo, which I think the primal violence does have to do with.
Now that I think about it, what's another somewhat apt comparison, in my opinion? Like the soundtrack to Akira, perhaps?
Yeah, a little bit.
See, that one I agree with. But Akira has cool red motorcycles, and it's such a badass movie.
And it's got horrifying transmutation as
such a cool movie.
As someone psychically breaches into another universe and becomes its god.
That's just fucking stupid. Who watches Akira for that, dude? I watch Akira for the cool motorcycles.
Has there been any really fucked up fetish porn of transformation Tetsuo and Akira where he's got
I wouldn't doubt it. That movie's been out for literal decades, so it's gotta exist.
I should have asked Katsuhiro Omo about that when I was at Anime Expo. I should have found him and yelled at him and be like, "Where the porn at? Should we get the conclusions?
How big is Tetsuo's dick?"
Guys, what's the conclusions here? What are some of our conclusions? I like it.
Good.
It's good. Good movie. It's a good movie even without the examination.
If you like the snappy dialogue if you like good snappy dialogue and cinematography and weird soundtracks, you'll like it.
If you're like me and you like edgy movies, then you'll like it.
If you like edgy high school girls, then
oh my god, dude!
You want something with a little bit of edge, but not too much cringy edge.
If you guys like, either you guys in the podcast or anyone in the comments know any movies with edgy high school girls, that is my fucking wheelhouse. Hit me up with that shit.
Fucking whatever the fuck's on Netflix now. There's always a bunch of those.
Game of Thrones,
but she's always in there.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
What's that from?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that's all a recommendation from all of us. Don't some of you guys give dumb ratings? You want to rate this dumb movie?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It's like a 9 or a 10 for me. It's pretty fucking up there. It's the high, probably like a 9. I'd say.
I give it a 9.
That's why my final rating for this movie is a puntilla out of 10.
Oh.
Completed. That's what they do. Oh my gosh, wait. It is now the next movie, and it is now moi, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
What do you got?
Next movie is gonna be... You guys are gonna like this. 2001!
A Space...
Bubble Boy!
Oh.
Starring Jake
I thought it was actually going to be 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I'm like, really, unironically my favorite movie of all time, right?
2001, Bubble Boy, movie by some guy named Blair Haynes. It's a comedy. It's a movie where Jake Gyllenhaal is a boy who had to grow up in a bubble.
That's the sequel to Donnie Darko, right?
Yeah.
Bubble Boy, the prequel to Bubble Man, the greatest Mega Man villain.
I watched this less than a year ago. I loved it. It was funny. I hope you guys find it funny. Hopefully we can have a good time talking about this.
Oh boy.
All right.
It's not, don't look too hard into it. Okay. Thank you everyone for listening. See you next time.
It's an allegory for the Armenian genocide, Bubble Boy.
Just wait till he gets to the Trail of Tears water slide.
I love the idea of having a movie that's an allegory for like a war crime or something, and then like you have a song that says, "It's an allegory for the rape of Nanking." Yeah, that's like the theme song of the fucking movie. That's a good
The Raid
bit.
of Manchuria is what this film's about.
Hell yeah.